going to use them to go to Mars.
I've had this conversation with Radu, who is always wrong. Radu, if you're watching, you're always wrong and you know it. The C8 should have been something else.
Naming Mustangs SUVs, so I agree with you.
Right.
And that's offensive, by the way.
It is.
Yeah,
I saw one
EV
yesterday.
Mustang thing is the stupidest thing ever, from a marketing point of view, from all kinds of things. But if they had made the C8 and called it something completely different,
The Radu.
and kept making, they should have called it the Chevy Radu.
The Chevy Radu.
It's on me, right?
It is on you.
Oh crap! It's the beginning of the show. Hey, wait a minute. I had a plan. I was going to do this.
The Unabomber?
No, man. I'm Porsche Yee. You're Yay. I'm the most hated guy in Porsche right now. My name is JP. I'm sorry, Porsche Yay. This is
what?
the Dur or Die Porsche podcast.
Kanye reference. Okay.
Along with my
slow.
partner Duane Wik, who
Greetings.
is agreeing to be here with Porsche Yee. We've got John Alcantara has decided to join us for some reason and sully his
Not just a great dash
reputation.
covering, but a great
I
human.
have no place else to go.
Yeah, but you have a reputation to think about.
That's right.
I mean, hanging out with
Protect your
losers
reputation
like
at all costs.
Porsche Yee and Duane Wik, as well as Mental Ward
The one though.
pushing the buttons.
Greatest
And
haircut on
what's
earth.
the name of the bird? We have a name for the bird, right?
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert the bird.
Wait, do the Gottfried impression, Mental. He's pretty good at it.
It's Gilbert the bird. I sit here in the Rami studios and I
Crackers.
don't get offered anything to drink.
I'm actually a huge fan of Gilbert Gottfried. He was the guy. He's like, look, taking risks. He was the guy right after 9/11.
Oh, he got canned from Aflac, right?
Yeah, because he made a 9/11 joke that was
It was
like
9/11 times 1,000.
Yeah, it was like the day after 9/11. It was like 9/12 or something like that. How Porsche relevant
Did you see
is that?
his?
Do you remember what the joke was? I'm trying to
I don't
remember
remember the
what
joke,
was.
but I remember his
I haven't
response.
seen a bomb this bad since 9/11. Too soon? Yeah, it was like
Somehow.
literally a few days after 9/11. It was on a roast for someone.
Wow.
God knows who. Which was...
But his response was basically humor heals, right? And I think that was a valid point.
Absolutely. I mean, Gilbert Gottfried was a legend. He was one of the best comedians of all time. We're not
Wait, he
Joe
died?
Rogan. Yeah, he did, man.
Dude, recently.
Yeah.
Like just this
Yeah,
past
it
As
was-
year.
long
was
as
a
Betty
try-
White is still alive, I'm good.
Yeah, right?
Well,
No, they're all hanging out in a hot tub with
Hot Tub Time
the guy
Machine.
from the Family Show. What was his name?
Leslie.
No,
8 is
what?
enough?
No,
What family show?
Jeez, you guys.
Oh, you're
suck.
talking about
What?
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. Thank you. Very
oh
much.
yeah, that was
I
a
love
surprise.
They all
Saget.
died like within a week.
Bob
of
Saget
one
was the
another.
greatest, like one persona for TV, and
Yeah.
then like filthy persona for his comedy tour.
Crazy blue.
was
Maybe it's like the
awesome.
rapture. Like all the good people are.
I mean, look, if you
We're
die,
the-
do you want to
we're
be in
just-
hell or heaven? I mean, the good entertainment is downstairs.
According to the country songs I
Yeah.
listen to, it's
Yeah.
hell is the place to be.
Welcome to Dirt or Die, the Porsche podcast, where we just don't give an esh about your stupid Porsche. Your Porsche sucks, okay?
Yeah.
No one cares about your stupid Porsche. Yeah,
Stop
I have a
clutching
bunch of
your
them.
pearls.
I know you have Dwayne, my partner, has a bunch of Porsches. This guy has a bunch of Porsches. That guy over there, he has. Do you have a Porsche Mental?
He has 3.
Yeah,
No,
he
you
has
have
one. No, he has at
the
least
derelict 914 still.
Yeah.
Did you sell it? So you have 2. Oh, you have 1.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
You're-
I had 2 derelict 914s. I got rid of one. I've still got my other one. It is for sale, but it's not hard.
Okay.
More like spouse appeasement for sale.
Is it
Gotcha.
derelict like Zoolander derelict?
Yeah, derelict. I mean,
Blue
look,
Steel.
that is a position that I take regularly. I mean, your Porsche we love our cars.
Right.
We love Porsches for a lot of different reasons. A lot of it's more about community. Some people are into it for the cars, whatever. But let's be honest, nobody really cares. Like, don't ever pull your phone out and show a picture of your car unless someone asks for it.
Even then,
And even then, it's kind of
Don't
like
do
they
it.
don't really want to see it.
stop with the phone.
But I will say that Porsches...
They represent well. They're in popular culture. Like everybody wants one in their print ad. They want it on their YouTube video. It's a thing. It's in Netflix TV shows.
Particularly with
real
classic
quick, Dwayne.
Porsches.
Yeah.
Just point over your right shoulder,
Did you say
and
drain?
that's where we're going to link the video
Okay.
to the Do or Die episode about Porsches and movies.
Okay. Click here. For
Says the guy who doesn't do the post production on the show. Let me just tell
It's
you,
only-
if you're looking for a link somewhere, it's not going to
probably-
be there.
yeah.
Sorry, that's just not happening because that would require work.
least amount of resistance, like
Yeah.
electricity, just
It
whatever to
is an act of God that this show actually gets
get.
published.
I figure. I'm like, whenever I see one come up, I'm like, oh, it happened.
Oh my God.
JP was in a good mood.
There's a lot of things on the list of things to do, and getting this
This is
show
the
on
last.
YouTube
It's like
is not high on it.
I gotta pluck my eyebrows and then edit or die after
Yeah.
that.
It's true. And there's like almost no editing for the show. I got to put the bumper at the front. I got to put the thing at the back. And then I got to put a commercial in the middle. Guys Customs bracelets. By the way, if you haven't gotten yourselves a Guys Custom bracelet.
Is that a
these things are
PTS
awesome.
to the car that you have? or-
No, this one is, I think this is the carbon black edition. It's got a titanium. Yeah. Oh, this is the titanium carbon black.
It's nice.
So it is a titanium piece with a carbon fiber stripe. And then the Guys Custom bracelet there.
Raise it up.
I know
Right
mental.
there.
Right
Oh, he
there.
wants to see it on the camera.
There.
Yeah. This is. It goes very well with my marathon pilot watch. This is a search and rescue. This is, I guess, they give F-18 pilots in the Air Force these things or something like
and
that.
you wear a lot of black, so I mean, you can wear that.
I mean,
constantly.
I'm Porsche Yee.
Yeah.
Or yay.
Wow.
John Alcantara, you're a watch guy.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
What are you wearing tonight?
Wait, is there a name?
This
there a
is
name
the,
for that? Being a watch guy,
Yeah, is it? I mean, it's because like if you're a
because like a Vino head.
I don't
That's
know.
not what
if
they
you're a
call it.
Ducati guy,
I-
you're a, like Ducatisti.
You're a
right?
Ducatista, yeah.
Oh, but you're a Ducati guy too.
Garagista.
I think if you're a watch guy, the technical term is douchebag.
That place.
Savage.
Yeah,
Where's the altar
place.
when we need him?
Douchebag
Savage,
place.
they
Yeah,
douche.
and
But
this podcast is definitely
you were
for
saying
douchebag.
your Guys Custom bracelets.
Yeah,
I,
mean, if
do
you're-
have my Capri Blue Mercedes AMG.
mental.
Very nice.
Your
That's a
guys
cool
custom bracelet spelled GYX_customs on Instagram. Your guys customs bracelets is one of the true customs, right? Because some of these are you can order, like you can go on the Instagram guys customs thing and order what they have in stock,
Just
but
whatever
you can
she
also
makes.
have the artist
Mhm.
make you a bracelet that will either match your watch or your car. She'll make paint to sample beads. Yours is paint to sample, right?
100%. And was not easy to do. This is it's a rare color. It looks black unless you know what you're looking at, but it matches my car perfectly.
Is it the
Wow.
blackest black known to man?
It is. There's a name for that
Mhm.
black.
Yeah.
So you're wearing John Alcantara is wearing Bruce Lee's watch, right?
This is
Oh,
this is a
awesome.
1969 Seiko
what?
sports. They call it speed timer.
Can you
Can you get it
Yep.
up on this camera?
Yep.
Get really close to that.
So this is they call it the Seiko Bruce. Lee.
Closer.
Get closer.
Way closer, and we can't hear you at this point. So he's got the Seiko Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
and that thing is sick.
Name 3 Bruce Lee movies. He was only in 5.
Enter the Dragon, Enter the Dragon 2, Enter the Dragon 3.
No, Game of Death
Game of Death.
and
The Big
It's
Boss.
actually
Big Boss.
Enter the Dragon,
Enter the Dragon,
Return of the Dragon,
Return of the
Big
Dragon, Way of the
Boss,
Dragon, the Chinese Connection.
Game of Death, which he really wasn't.
he was
in.
half
Crow.
in, half out.
He
The
was
Crow-
also
oh, yeah.
in the Jim
Brandon Lee.
Garner version of Philip Marlowe.
All right.
He was in the Green Hornet.
So back
Yeah,
to the
he was.
watch. The
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think watches and Porsches go together. I had a Seiko titanium, like a vintage Seiko titanium Black Samurai,
Hmm.
and that was one of my favorite watches I've ever owned. And I
Pawned it.
I gave it to Mikey P. So Mikey P,
Dude,
who
he
usually
if anyone
produces,
deserved
when we
the Black Ninja, it was Mikey P.
Black Samurai.
That's what I said. That's what I meant.
No, he really did deserve it. He was part of Fascination and everything that happened with that.
Yeah.
And when we premiered Porsche Road Trip, I gave him that watch.
And he's got the Cassis
And he wears it every day.
Targa now
Yeah,
too,
he
right?
rocks it. He rocks it.
Good.
Oh, that Targa is sweet.
Is it a Targa or coupe?
It's a Targa.
It's a Targa.
Yeah, Cassis.
I like the
Cassis
interior.
Targa 911.
Really nice
88,
interior. Yeah.
1950. But so that watch is pretty bitchin'. You need a guy's custom bracelet. For that.
How do you?
You know, I was thinking about it. You mentioned that. I was like, what if she made something like Bruce Lee's jumpsuit yellow and black?
Oh, that would be dope.
Badass.
Do you have the lizard green?
That
GT3
is
too?
totally
Did you ever have-
sick.
I thought you had.
I never had a lizard green GT3.
Oh, you had a gray, slate gray.
I had the-
fashion gray.
I had chalk gray.
Chalk.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I think they just call it chalk or crayon in the UK,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Radu has that GT3 now.
That's right. He
Oh,
drives
nice.
the shit out of it.
You know what's funny
That's
is when I had my R8, my banana hammock yellow R8 convertible, we went and joined the
Wait,
R
you
group.
sold that car?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you sold
Yeah,
it.
we joined the R group in Utah for their Treffin, right? And we went out and it was like really hot, so we decided not to bring the air cooled car. So I brought the R8 Cabrio.
That's like the car from Outrun, the video game.
It really
more
is,
or
dude.
less,
That car was so
sort
epic.
of.
Did
I
all
really
those
liked that car.
our group guys get heartburn when they saw the R8 show
Oh no,
up?
they were like, "Oh my god, you what?" I think they all thought I like had money or something like that, and I didn't. Like what?
They wanted
Cars
you to
are
pick
worth
up the
more.
tab everywhere.
So, but the funny thing was that, you know, Radu had your old GT3,
Yeah.
.2 991.2 in chalk gray,
That was a sweet
which
car.
is probably worth twice as much as
It's a
the
great
R8,
car.
right at the time. And everywhere we went, like people would come out of stores, like at the gas station, at the hotel that we stayed at. Everyone would walk right by his car and take pictures of mine.
Mhm.
And he
Well,
he
we
was
said
like,
it before.
"Oh,
It's the color. It's
Yours,
the color.
Yeah,
he got
it's the banana
Pissed,
hammock
right?
is like the
So he just-
ultimate Vegas car.
right." So it really was a total. It looked like a rental. Every time I drove it down the strip, everyone thought I was some, guy from the Midwest.
You had no
Mid-
pants on at the time.
Well,
so
yeah,
that
but they
was
can't tell
doubly
inside
weird,
unless they
but-
were in the double-decker buses,
right.
which I was usually like waving around for.
Waving.
But yeah, I mean, most of the people just thought I was midlife crisis guy renting a car.
Mm-hmm.
But he was upset. He will
Really?
tell you that he wasn't. He was freaking upset. Radu, you were upset. We all know you
Well,
were
you
upset.
know what? To be fair,
Yeah.
that GT3 is a far better car.
It is.
Oh,
I'll be the first to admit it.
absolutely, absolutely.
I absolutely, no question.
What was the
The
interior
GT3
like on that?
RS was the better car.
Uh,
And everyone would walk right by it to take a picture of themselves.
it had
with the
a
R8.
black
GT3.
interior with deviated stitch in speed yellow,
Mm.
yellow seat belts,
Nice.
white gauges. Oh yeah, those
White
are-
gauges.
White gauges.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That car is great. So our friend Radu still drives that car, but the R8 upstaged him, and so that I'm entirely 100% positive because he went out and bought which Ferrari did Radu buy?
The F8 Tributo.
Yeah, so he ordered one of those. It hasn't come yet. He's been watching it like every day. He posts on the Insta webs like
It's
where it is in the middle of the Pacific.
292,000 more hours until I get it.
Kilometers away, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
So eventually that car will be here, but I am 100% positive that Radu bought that car because he was pissed off that his R8 or his I'm sorry, his GT3 was
The-
overshadowed by the R8. He's like, that's not happening
The
anymore.
gray-
I need a car that's not going to
The
happen.
gray is a
again."
great color because the GT3 is borderline ostentatious.
No, it's a JP. I'm sorry, Porsche Yee. Porsche Yee had
Porsche
a
Yee.
car that was cooler than his, even though it was only
I
worth
can
half the
feel
amount of
it.
money.
Yeah, I mean the chalk color it's pretty muted. You know,
It's muted on a supercar, so
Sure.
it's like
I mean, I remember when I was driving it, people would be like, "So why is your car primer colored?"
mm,
Well, look, our friend Rami. We're filming this episode in the Rami studio,
Mhm.
like we do every week. He has an SVJ,
the Sauvage Le
Lamborghini.
Douche.
Yeah,
Uh,
look, and but he had the GT2 RS. He's had both
that car was
the 997 and the
amazing.
991 version. That car was absolutely sick. But to the average Joe, it just looks like a regular 911.
Yeah, you can't. Well,
You know, that's the thing
to the
about
average
the
Joe, they
R8.
can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, if
The
you
R8
park the
doesn't
R8
look-
next to the
right.
to the GT2
It looks
RS,
exotic.
they're gonna be like, "Oh, that R8's more the
Mhm.
more badass car," and clearly not. And I think there's something to that. I get that for guys that really need that that hit to the ego. That
To
flashiness.
be fair, you could park a $30,000 DeLorean next to it, and everybody and their mom would be like,
For sure.
looking at the
Something to-
DeLorean.
But that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a pop culture thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bad comparison.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
if you're like talking about car guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
If you don't subscribe to Bid Nerds on YouTube right now, I'm gonna shoot this 997. If you said, wait, that's a 996, you're a nerd. So subscribe to the new YouTube channel, Bid Nerds, your daily nerd out on the most interesting cars of the day on all the automotive enthusiast auction websites.
This is the perfect car. I'm gonna bid 31.
I'm going to say $35,000, JP.
Bid Nerds every Monday through Friday morning on YouTube.
Get those nerds! Nerds!
Rami is not the guy that doesn't drive his car. But let's face it, the vast majority of guys that buy something like a GT2 RS do not buy them for the performance.
Mhm.
They buy them for the flex.
Yeah,
I-
and
to be
the
honest,
resale.
I don't know why I shouldn't feel this way, but I like the 3RS better than the 2RS.
The
Whatever.
3RS is amazing.
The point is that the average chick walking
Average chick.
down
I think that's a technical term.
the Vegas Strip, if you drive by in a GT3 RS versus a GT2 RS, they don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference between a
A
GT2
moped.
RS and a Carrera T.
Correct. That's
So
why the guy
get a
that drives
Carrera T
down
is what you're
the
saying.
down the strip in
Yeah.
a bright yellow R8 is
Yeah.
going to get more attention
That
than
was
the
your
guy
plan,
in the
wasn't it?
GT2 RS, and that's why the guy in the GT2 RS is going, "Oh, my car's better. My car's more. Wait, why are they getting?"
Well,
But here's the thing. No,
that's
you
the thing.
feel the
They're
guy
buying
with the
it for the
GT2
flex.
RS though is like, I know I'm better.
Listen, I
inside, and
think
that's priceless.
I think a GT Porsche is a selfish car. You buy it because you're not trying to really impress other people. I mean, if you wanted to buy a 911 and be like, hey, everybody, look at my 911, you don't need to buy
Guards red.
a GT, GT3, GT3 RS, whatever. If you buy a GT3, you are buying it because you care about
Performance and driving.
and that is a selfish choice.
75% of 991.2 GT3s available with manual transmissions.
Are in Saudi Arabia. Oh,
Negative.
you're not going where I
Were
was going.
purchased with manual transmissions.
I believe it.
In Las Vegas,
Oh, in Las Vegas.
75% of GT3s available with a manual
Mhm.
were purchased with PDKs.
Really?
So
Because
the vast
it was
majority
a show off thing.
of GT3 buyers in Las Vegas
Mhm.
are flexing.
Yeah.
They're a
That's-
DJ on the strip.
Either that
That's-
or
Or
the
they're
ultimate
who?
way to prove.
What
that
did you
you're
get,
flexing
John?
I was
You
gonna
had
say-
the option.
versus-
I was gonna say either that or they take advantage of the fact that we have a really great track.
Yeah, whatever.
an hour
and
Look,
it is faster technically.
Well,
P.S.
yeah.
I will give our friend John Alcantara the benefit of the doubt. He bought a PDK, but he also has the current GT3, the 992 version with a manual.
Right.
You do the right
Yeah.
thing.
And
the
he
second
has.
time
So-
around.
Is your Mustang manual?
My Mustang is a
Oh,
manual.
that's dope.
Yeah, so
That
I mean,
boss.
when I got the dot two 991.2
Can you sell me that,
GT3,
boss?
I don't know, maybe.
I
Wait.
kind of want it.
You'd buy an American car?
I kind of still want it too, though. But the Boss 302 is
nothing
a.
against you. For
No,
buying
I
an
get
American
it.
car.
I would have never thought I would buy a Mustang, but
Mhm.
the Boss 302.
We
is-
traded cars. I can't even remember what I was driving at that point, but you let me drive your 302 Boss, and I was like, "This."
Does it
fucking
sound
thing
like the
is
Challenger that
so
drives by my
much
house
fun.
at 3 a.m.?
It's okay. So when that car came out, what got me about it was that the designers were trying to beat the M3 around Laguna Seca, and not only did they beat the M3, they beat the R8.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the R8.
All right, yeah, the V8
mean,
version,
It's
right?
yellow.
But anyway, I
They
just
were actually also within a half a second of a GT3.
with a live
With
rear
the
axle.
302 Boss of that era, what year is that? 2007?
So 2012.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
it's,
But
it's
that
like
was still a solid
supercharged
rear
or
axle,
something, though,
wasn't
right?
it?
It's not
Yeah,
just
it
a
is.
302.
There's no freaking way you're doing track times of meeting an R8.
Listen, if you drive that car,
Yeah. You got to have balls of steel.
yeah,
to go that
it
fast.
is like wrestling a grizzly bear down the road, but it'll do it.
If you know what
You got to
do.
have courage.
Yeah.
Usually you kill like 3 pedestrians just driving it.
I remember driving your car, John, and just like going, this is one of the most fun cars I've ever driven.
What
It's
color is
in
that?
my entire
boss?
life.
The name of that color is race red.
It's
Nice.
just a red Mustang.
Yeah.
It looks like if you didn't know, it looks like just a shitty red Mustang.
Right.
with a C stripe on it.
But the
Yeah.
Boss has the logo, and does it have special wheels or like a roll bar?
So the
or
Boss
what does it
had upgraded suspension with adjustable shocks, but they're not adjustable from the interior. You got to go in with the
Right,
screwdriver.
manually.
Yep. And then it had, I mean, you could look it up, but the engine was hand ported and is fully forged internals. So it red lines higher. I mean, it's pretty much a GT engine that's been worked over.
You can.
That's got to be one of
Drive
the
that
best
thing.
bangs for the buck because
Oh,
you can
sure.
get like 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles. You can get one for under $30,000.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That has got to be the best bang.
Do you
for the
like
buck out there.
the
There's no way in hell you can touch
C8s?
that.
By the way, this is
What's
kind
that?
of that made me think of the C8s. Do you like
Wow,
that? I saw a
God.
brand new C8 black on black,
No.
triple black.
No.
I don't
I mean,
either.
look,
I
I'm
hate
gonna
them.
go ahead.
You
and-
know what I
No
wanna
offense
do?
to you guys that
But
own a
no.
C8, but
You know what I want to do
I
with a
haven't
C8?
driven one. To be fair.
I want to buy a C8. If I had like endless money, I would buy a C8 in red,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd put Scuderia shields on it.
You do have endless money. What are you talking about? Compared to anyone that's ever been on the show, other than maybe Rami.
Oh, okay. Well, if I wanted to spend the money, I would get a red C8, put Scuderia shields on it, drive
Wait, what
it
are
to.
Scuderia shields. I don't. is
Those
that
are the Ferrari.
Ferrari shield. That's
the
a
Ferrari
Ferrari
shields
badge.
on the fender.
Oh my!
And I would drive it to Cars and Coffee, reverse it into a handicap spot next to all the other Ferrari guys.
Wait, you got to rev it until it catches on fire.
With your, and then get out with your,
with all my Ferrari gear on.
with all the Ferrari out,
All-
the entire Ferrari regalia.
All
But
the
all
dogs are
Corvette.
like, in their owner's arms because
we totally have to cut it right there. That is so brilliant. Thank you for turning in.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll see you next
That's
week.
the final episode of all time.
And listen, I like Ferraris, but I want to do something like that just to troll. all
So
of
I
them.
actually
Yeah.
think it looks more like the McLaren. Don't tell Chew that, but
Sure.
Look, that's the whole point of the C8 is that it looks like fill in the blank.
there's
right?
only so many design
it's-
things you can do with the C8.
I have
with a
mistaken
mid-engine.
it for Lambos and Ferraris. It's like,
Yeah.
is that a Lambo? Is that a Ferrari? No, it's goddamn C8.
But
Right.
the tail lights, like
it's so
Oh, the
what-
taillights are awful.
It's so bad. It's
Awful.
like the designers were paid for radiuses. It's just the worst in aesthetics. We had Clint
Give me
Russell
10
on a
radiuses at
special
least.
episode of Bid Nerds recently, and he's not a car guy, but he's a financial guy. Did you watch that episode? You got to watch that episode of the
Of Bid Nerds?
Of Bid Nerds, yeah.
I've watched a few of them.
Have you guys watched Bid Nerds? By the way,
Yeah.
Bid Nerds.
Yeah.
It's your daily nerd out on the most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites like Bring Your Trailer, Cars and Bids, and P-Car Market. We do, yeah. So subscribe and like that channel as well. But we did a special episode. Clint Russell came in. He's
Wait, who's Clint Russell? For
Clint
us?
Russell from Liberty Lockdown. He's a big financial guy. I think you would find this episode particularly interesting. We talked about whether or not the classic car market was collapsing or not. Bid Nerds is all about the daily market, what's going on, what the most interesting car is, making predictions on auction results.
Mhm.
But he's not a car guy, but he drives a C8. And so he was talking about how he bought a C8. He was one of the first people on the list. He got one. He's on the list, so he's going to get a Z06. So he's
Sure.
trying to decide whether or not to just flip the Z06 or flip the C8 that he bought because he only has like 2,000 miles on it.
Flip the C8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep the
absolutely. I'm
Z06.
like, dude, keep the
Mhm.
Z06 because that's the better car. Flip the Z08. Look,
And
I
that's
don't think
always
he,
gonna be
but the
worth
thing is though,
Something.
is that he bought it stock, but a C8, even though he has low miles, C8s are now depreciating.
Well,
Yeah.
C8s are now in a
it's a
think-
Chevy product.
I think
Yeah.
everything is from
Just
where it
about-
was.
Just about, but
Yeah.
like classic 911s.
The production also caught up.
right?
Yeah.
The supply
Finally.
supply is catching up. All kinds of things are going on in the market.
Wait,
Check
what-
out Bid
what's a-
Nerds on that.
a good, not a Z06, but what's a C8 cost? 80, 90?
I
think
thought
the
they were
list
fully
is like
loaded
high
at
80s.
90.
Yeah,
Okay.
high,
Yeah.
high 80s, low
That-
90s.
Or a Rivian?
But
What do you
but a
choose?
Z06 is a buck.
Wait,
Because a
$1.20.
Rivian's faster.
hold on a
Is it
second.
not?
What
Wait,
did,
wait,
you
we're gonna-
comparing?
I'm
is-
comparing a Rivian,
Yeah,
yes.
get the
No,
don't talk,
because
bring
look,
Rivian into this.
here's the thing. You're going to buy...
No, stop. Look, we're not going to bring an EV into a discussion on performance cars.
I would buy the
stop.
Rivian all day long.
Of course.
But you know what? Half the
Corvette would crush
experience
it on a
is the
track.
sound, right?
But if you're after V8 sound,
Get the Mustang.
A C8
Or a Camaro
doesn't
or
have
like a
have
Challenger,
manual.
I don't know.
You can't get a C8 in any version with a manual, whereas you can with
What?
a GT3.
Here's
and
a
that
good-
was the thing that I used to appreciate about American cars is whatever you can shit all
Get the
over 'em,
manual,
but you
right?
can walk into a Chevy showroom and get a Camaro SS with a 6-speed. You can walk into a Ford
Those were the
dealership
good old days.
and get whatever Mustang the greatest thing is with 3 pedals.
Mhm.
That can happen, but a C8 you can't.
Well,
And that really is
They
sad.
here's
have
a
that
good-
giant thing console. There's no room.
I think a good comparison is, would you rather get a Z06 with the flat plane crank V8, no manual,
Yeah.
brand new mid-engine, or would you rather get a Shelby GT350R, which are selling now for probably about what a Z06 would go for, with the flat plane crank V8, a manual, and a
Manual.
Chevy.
front
All
end?
the way.
I'm sorry, the Shelby,
No.
of course.
No question.
Anything with 3 pedals trumps everything else.
Even though it's mid-engine versus front engine.
Don't care. 3
Mm.
pedals trumps anything
100%.
without.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Look, and that doesn't mean that it's better. It just means that it's more fun.
It's more fun to drive.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
You can quantify all the metrics you want, but 3 pedals is just more fun.
Now, what if they had put 3 pedals in the Z06?
Then it would be a different story. It'd be a completely different equation.
They'd
I
be selling
understand
more of them.
why
I mean,
the
there's a
C8 didn't
demand
do it,
for them. Why don't they do it?
because it costs a lot of money because they'd have to make a
transmission.
brand new transmission from scratch.
That's an
There's
expensive
no
trans-
transmission.
I
That
bet
is-
the transmission's more expensive
That
than the motor.
engine
Yeah.
that Chevy makes, the Z06 V8, is the most powerful, naturally aspirated engine ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to hand it to Chevy for building that. Look,
Elon Musk is going to
I
use them
look,
to go
and
to
I've
Mars.
had this conversation with Radu, who is always wrong. Radu, if you're watching,
Yeah.
you're always wrong, and you know it. The C8 should have been something else. Chevrolet should have called the C8 the fill in the blank. I
Well,
don't care.
I mean, look,
And then
we're
what,
in
the
a- we're in
Corvette
a
would-
Well, hold on,
time
let me
where
finish this
we're-
thought.
We're naming Mustangs SUVs, so I agree with you.
right.
And,
They
and that's
should
offensive, by
It
the
is.
way.
Yeah,
I saw one
EV
yesterday. I was like,
Mustang
what?
thing is the stupidest thing ever, from a marketing point of view, from all kinds of things. But if they had made the C8 and called it something completely different,
The Radu.
and kept making, they should have called it the Chevy Radu,
The Chevy Radu,
the R06.
the R06. Yeah.
You got
So-
the Chevy
so-
Radu,
The rocks.
you got the Chevy Radu, and the Chevy R06.
So then the Corvette would live on as a front
the
engine
C7 would live on
Mhm.
with a
Right.
manual.
with a manual. They could have kept making those, and they could have made
Mhm.
C8s. They
It
could have made
is-
Radus.
It's the biggest departure.
And they
in
could
the
have
lineup.
charged $150 to nearly $200,000 for that car, and they would have gotten it.
Yeah.
We have a position open for you at GMC headquarters in Detroit.
I will move to
We're
Detroit
interviewing
right now.
Right now.
Just give me
The
like one
GM
of
is
those
not
big,
known
huge-
for making good decisions.
That's a good, very good.
So the manual transmission is the deal breaker, whether it has it or not for you.
For me personally.
So you would choose GT3 RS, or you would choose a manual standard GT3 over a GT3 RS.
Absolutely. Without a I mean, there would be zero equivocation. It's just like instantly 3 pedals versus 3 pedals.
Mhm.
The only, I mean, look, as long as, I mean, and let's not be stupid. I mean, if you were saying, do you want a Velociter with a CVT or with 3 pedals, or do you want
Don't you ever say CVT in
a
my presence.
GT3 with a PDK? Of course, I'm going to take a PDK.
Well,
I drive a Macan PDK, or, GTS.
But if there
Yeah.
was a Macan manual,
of course I'm taking that, and I would take
Yeah.
the smaller
He
motor.
had a
Because if
Cayenne
you look
manual.
I've had Cayenne manuals, and I would absolutely, given the choice, I would take a manual 6-speed, 6-cylinder base Cayenne
Ooh,
over a turbo Cayenne with a Tiptronic. Like,
someone is
just-
developing a 6-speed 915.
that's amazing. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But whatever, that doesn't matter.
six-speed
The amount of gears, I don't
915?
care. I mean, you get above. I mean, so I owned a 991S with the 7-speed, and it was not as good as the 6-speed in a 996 or a
I
996.
think
You know
it's
what?
just about
That-
cruising at top speed, though.
that
cruising at 80.
transmission
Mhm.
made a otherwise very boring car.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
991
Porsche,
S
but
is okay.
but it's like
you drove that car.
I drove it, and I used to have a Carrera 4S 991.
Was that the time that I drove your NSX, your classic NSX, and you drove my
It
991S?
was. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Can I drive the?
I remember I got in that car and I was
Oh, I
like,
can't fit
I
in
used
it.
to have the
Never
car
mind.
like this. I had a 4S.
Mhm.
I had a PDK. And I was like, I remember it being kind of boring. I remember thinking it felt like if Lexus made a Porsche,
Yeah.
it would be the 991
Yeah.
4S
Yeah.
or S. But then your car had the manual, and I drove it, and I was like, I like this car.
Right.
It was fun.
The thing was epic.
Yeah.
And it was just an S, Sport Plus. I mean, it wasn't a GT3, but it was, golly, that car was fun. I mean, I remember Jason Adine,
Mhm.
usually part of the, we
Peanut
did
Gallery.
the Angeles Crest. He has a GTS with a PDK, and I had my S with the 7-speed, and I'm sure I had more fun because that 7-speed was just magnificent in that car.
But
I mean, 991 is a big car.
That's an interesting comparison because you know what? I'd rather have the S with the manual over the GTS
Again,
with the
not
PDK.
even a nanosecond to make that decision.
Yeah.
True.
That's
And
interesting.
of course,
Yeah.
the GTS is the better car in the metrics.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come down to it, being able to, and here's the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the 991 with 3 pedals, unless it's a GT version, even if it has 3 pedals,
Value.
is a PDK.
Oh,
So it is a
Yeah.
fake manual.
this is the whole like dealership
Well,
thing where
there-
they say it's a manual, but it's
no,
really a
I
No,
mean,
no, there's
it
a-
is a man. It's got
Oh.
3 pedals.
There's a
and
diagram.
it feels like
you-
a manual transmission.
but it's
But
tricking
the
you.
fact is, it's really that clutch pedal is just a button.
So there's a
Right.
diagram you can find online where the shift pattern is actually all crazy. When you shift into what you think is second, the transmission's actually doing something somewhere else. You can find it.
It's like you're a dumb human.
Yeah.
I'm doing my
So
own
They're
thing.
just buttons. It's just a servo saying,
tell me
okay,
that.
the lever's
Don't
here,
tell me
now
how
the
the
lever's
sausage
there.
is made.
It's just a bunch of
No,
buttons.
it's a cable.
But if it were actually in line with where the gears are, you'd be going from first to like 6th to 4th to first. You know, I mean,
I
it's
But
really
Porsche
love
managed to
haptic
make
buttons.
it so you would never know.
you'd never know.
I
Yeah.
like to feel that. So I love haptic buttons. I
Mhm.
love the fact, I think that future technology is going to be more like that, where you feel it's a screen, but you feel like you're pressing an actual button.
Yeah.
And I
But
think
it's not
transmissions
real.
could be like, yeah, exactly like that, where you feel like you're engaging first.
When the
second,
991
third.
came out, that was the first 911 with a drive-by-wire steering. It was numb. And
Mhm.
a couple of years into it, there was an upgrade, a software upgrade that transmitted more information from the wheels to the steering wheel, so the steering wheel would shake and
Mhm.
give you
Really?
the sensation
No way.
of road and
Like
the
kinda
GT3s. By the
Yeah.
time the GT3 came out, it was a way better steering.
It's like
Transmission.
art. You
Yeah.
know, in art, when it's too perfect, it sucks.
yeah.
But when there's variations, when film looks like it's messy and lived in, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way with cars.
We just did. We've talked about Luftkult way too much, but we did the professor run for the last Luftkult. It was one of the best days ever. I'm sorry, Duane, your car
Son of a
was out of commission.
Yeah.
I was ill. I was driving my GTS Macan with the PDK, and you've heard me say I'm a manual guy. I was a little under the weather on that drive in the GTS Macan. That car was way more capable than any car. I mean, like,
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a
it
modern.
was ridiculous how
vehicle.
good it was, and how able I was to, just every whatever. I was just
You
like,
could have
I
been
was
half
casual.
asleep, and you could
Exactly.
be keeping up with whatever.
To its credit and to its peril, I was kind of bored unless
Mm.
I was pushing the living shit out of that thing,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I probably drove
Which
it unsafely.
is why air cooled is so great, because
That's full circle right there.
Yeah.
That's why
10
our
tenths.
air-cooled cars are way more fun to drive a slow car fast. A slow car that was meant to go fast.
Mm-hmm. Not just a
Yeah.
slow car, but a slow car that
Well,
was meant to go fast.
It's like on the drive over here,
Mhm.
Duane was sitting next to me and I go, hey, your car's a 915 in it, right? And he goes, yeah. And I go, you ever say a little prayer before going from 5th to 4th?
Yeah.
You don't have to
let's
think
hope it
about that
goes
in the Macan.
You know, downshifting is either reverse and you'll blow the entire transmission with a gray cloud of smoke coming out, or you nail it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
buzz them
that's
gears a little bit.
My 86 is like on the bubble. The next year, 87 was the G50, and that
Yeah,
transmission
you missed
is
it by
super
1
easy.
year.
1 year. So I'm
Damn
still in
you.
the 915 club.
Which
And
is
it's-
a great club. It's the best
Great.
transmission.
It's funny because everybody talks about how great the G50 is, and I've driven plenty of them.
Mhm.
But I mean, something about the 915,
Mm-hmm. You're rowing.
the challenge.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
Things that are difficult, things that are hard, are more rewarding,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, the Macan
Yeah. Like that
is
math
the
test
way
in
better
8th grade.
vehicle in every metric. Who wants to drive a goddamn, soccer
Hey,
mom's
if I'm taking
SUV?
the kids to,
Well, and that's kind of the sad thing, right? Is that Porsche makes that car so capable with full knowledge that 99.9% of people that drive it are stoplight to stoplight taking their kids to soccer practice.
Mhm.
Right? It's kind of a weird thing.
All right, guys. On that note, we're going to end this episode of Dirt or Die. Make sure you hit the subscribe, like, or notification button. Look, we need some merch, right? We need to
Yeah.
sell some stuff.
Yeah.
You guys
I
want to
gotta
support
pay
the show?
them
We
grandma's
can't sell you
medical
anything. We
bills,
don't have
so-
any crap. We have no what?
We need a shirt, a Dirt or Die shirt. We need a hat.
We
Let's
need
do
a
that.
Dare or Die OnlyFans.
So we were talking about that, like where to put the show. Like, do we go on Patreon? Do we go to one of these sites where you can?
Instagram is doing like 99-cent subscriptions, or like
Yeah, and
$1.99.
YouTube has ways that you can tip
Yeah,
and stuff
something
like
like
that, and
that.
we can do super chats and everything. But I'm like, screw it.
need
Let's
money
just go,
desperately.
Let's just go to OnlyFans.
I mean, you
Does
guys could,
OnlyFans have car content?
I went there literally today and searched Porsche, and I found the only thing I found was some whore in her GT3, and I couldn't watch
Big
any of the
surprise.
content because I didn't have a credit card on the thing.
Oh,
you can make it OnlyFans and sell Dare or Die panties to lonely dudes.
Is that what we're doing, guys? Would you support us if we did a Dur or Die OnlyFans?
You have to wear the panties first, though. Got to add a little
That's-
flavor.
Because
It's
I'm
got
not
weird.
wearing them now. I mean, let's be honest. You'd have to wear underwear to have panties on, and I don't.
yeah, he's free balling.
Commando right here in my Porsche. That's the way to. That's the way to go
A little
faster.
too
Always
TMI
ready to
right
go.
there.
You got to shave that weight where you can. It's 4 ounces. And
I do think we should have some merch, whether it be a sticker or little
I
something.
mean,
Oh, you got the Bid Nerds
Bid
sticker.
Nerds
There you
has
go.
Aqua things.
Let's get the.
Mhm. I've seen that many times.
Actually, this is just a Bid Nerd sticker.
We
on
just
an
need
Aqua
like
can.
the Duane is usually right sticker, or jumper cables suck.
for the delusional.
I'm on Team Dwayne.
Yes,
That actually would be
jumper
really good.
cables suck.
All right, guys, hit the subscribe, like, and notification button, and hang out. We're going to do these episodes. We try to do them as often as we can, but we really do need your help in growing the channel and getting the word out. So, put a comment in here, share this episode, let us know what you guys think, and we will see you next time on
Yep.
Dur or Die Porsche. Porsche what? Porsche
OnlyFans.
podcast?
Something like that.
Porsche OnlyFans.
Porsche
See ya.
OnlyFans. Mental Porsche OnlyFans?
Mental naked, $5.99 a month.
All right, end this goddamn.
That's a deal.
Or for $10.99. Or for $10.99
Mental,
a month.
put your
you
pants
don't.
back on. Jesus. There's children.